Straight ahead on WBKB, a new COVID-19 vaccine could soon be available.
Plus, Governor Whitmer proposes a record investment in child care and an arrest in a weekend road rage incident on the Mackinac Bridge.
You're watching Thunder Bay News Network. WBKB News at 6 starts now.
This is WBKB News at 6. An in-depth look at news, weather, and sports. From hard-hitting news stories to local events, we're there with coverage you can count on. You're watching WBKB News at 6.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Sherry Stewart.
And I'm Tyler Cruz. Gun violence across America spiked in 2020 and is showing no signs of slowing down so far in 2021. Since Friday, 139 people were killed by guns.
The lifting of COVID restrictions and the warmer weather has some fearful of a violent summer ahead. Bradley Blackburn has the story.
A deadly weekend of gun violence. In Austin, Texas, shots rang out early Saturday morning on a street filled with bars and restaurants, killing 25-year-old Doug Cantor and wounding more than a dozen others.
Almost all of those victims are innocent bystanders.
In Savannah, Georgia, a gunman outside an apartment complex killed one person and wounded 7 others, including a toddler.
You got to try to find a way to make some kind of sense out of it, because this is senseless.
More shootings in Chicago and Cleveland in what could be a trend heading into the summer.
Oh, let's shoot for that.
The Gun Violence Archive counts at least 272 mass shootings in the U.S. so far this year. That's defined as incidents with 4 or more people shot and more than 8,900 gun deaths. The group says mass shootings spiked to 610 in 2020, more than the previous 6 years tracked.
I'm concerned about the trends we're seeing.
Warren Eller is an associate professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice. He says the pandemic is an enormous factor.
It creates layers and layers of stress, which bring out layers and layers of behaviors that we wouldn't see under less stressful times.
And as more people return to public spaces, they bring that stress with them, a potential root cause of violence that is hard to address.
I think that the question we should be asking is why, not how. We're still not doing anything to change those drivers, to change that behavior.
Leaving communities across the country to deal with pandemic-fueled violence with no easy cure. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Another COVID-19 vaccine could be headed to the market. Biotech company Novavax is expected to ask for permission to distribute its shots soon.
Latest results show the company's COVID-19 vaccine is 90% effective in preventing COVID symptoms. Skylar Henry has the story.
Novavax is joining the fight against COVID-19. The Maryland-based biotech company says its 2-dose vaccine is about 90% effective and is safe after being tested in nearly 30,000 trial participants. Last year, we spoke with the company's head of research and development.
This is really a complex process. It has a lot of burden to prove that it's safe and can work.
Novavax plans to seek authorization to give out its vaccine by the end of September, with a focus on distribution in low to middle income countries. It comes as scientists are sounding the alarms on the Delta variant of the virus, first discovered in India. Over the past 3 weeks, China has been racing to stop the spread of the highly contagious variant, and the former FDA commissioner tells CBS News it could become the dominant strain here in the U.S.
This could spike a new epidemic heading into the fall.
So far, more than 64% of Americans have received at least 1 dose of the coronavirus vaccine. Administration officials are stepping up their efforts to get even more people to roll up their sleeves, just 3 weeks shy of President Biden's July 4th goal of 70%.
We're approaching a sad milestone. Almost 600,000 lost lives because of COVID-19 in America.
Vice President Harris visited a vaccination site in South Carolina, the first stop in a nationwide push.
If you are vaccinated, you are protected.
Meanwhile, the first federal court ruling regarding vaccine mandates came down in Texas. A federal judge dismissed the lawsuit filed by Houston Methodist Hospital employees over its COVID vaccine requirement. The plaintiffs say they'll appeal. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Washington.
Now here's meteorologist Ellie Morrison with a first check of the weather. Ellie, these last 2 days have been beautiful.
And Tyler, if you're a fan of the cooler temperatures, there's more of that on the way. At the moment, we are seeing a few isolated showers, particularly west of Alpena. Those showers are affecting places in Montmorency and Oscoda counties. They're drifting off towards the south and should come to an end over the next couple of hours. Farther east, this is a look at Lachine, and we're seeing just a few clouds in the sky, plenty of sunshine, and quite similar south of Glenny along M65, a few clouds mixing with blue sky. Temperatures as we go into this evening will be falling into the lower 60s and upper 50s. During the early morning, we'll start off tomorrow with lows around the lower 50s. You might need a jacket first thing heading out the door. You can probably leave the jacket as we get into the afternoon with highs that will reach the lower 70s. Coming up a little bit later in the program, I'll let you know when temperatures are going to cool off to the 40s. That's ahead a bit later.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. We'll check back in with you in a bit. A $1.4 billion investment into the state's child care. That's the proposal Governor Whitmer announced today. The investment comes as part of her administration's Economic Jumpstart Plan. The money comes from federal child care funding. It aims to make high-quality care more accessible by expanding the income eligibility for free or low-cost child care.
To make child care more affordable and to reduce the numbers of families that pay more than 7% of their income on child care, we should make 150,000 more children eligible for low or no-cost child care by expanding income eligibility to 200% of the federal poverty level.
Whitmer plans to financially support child care workers as well. Part of the investment will go to early educators by raising rates for providers and offering quarterly stipends to child care workers.
And as a state, we need to pay providers more through child care subsidies. That's why I'm proposing a 20% rate increase for providers.
Whitmer also said they will provide more access to tuition-free education for students looking to be child care professionals.
A Ludington man was arrested this weekend after allegedly firing a gun in a road rage incident on the Mackinac Bridge. 65-year-old William Richard Percola was arrested Saturday and charged with reckless discharge of a firearm. Police say the incident started when another driver would not let Percola merge. Later, that driver merged in front of Percola because of a lane closure. That's when Percola hit that other car. The man got out to confront Percola, who then pointed a handgun in the air and fired one shot. A .40 caliber handgun and a 9mm handgun were taken by police. Percola was arraigned this afternoon in Mackinac County.
Alpena County has already begun funding projects with their Neighborhood Enhancement Program grants. Alpena County Home Improvement received over $37,000 in grant money. The amount was divided into 2 homes selected by a neighborhood and the Home Improvement Department. The homeowners had spoken to Alpena County Home Improvement about their needs in the past, and the grants are funding exterior repairs for them.
There were 2 homeowners that I knew that needed repairs. They have contacted our office before, in which we had assisted. One home in particular was electrical and plumbing. The other home was a furnace, so I was familiar with these homes.
Lucas says there could be more grants available for homeowners in the near future. Alpena County Home Improvement is currently applying for a grant from Rural Development and Community Development block grants. She hopes to make those available in the next few months for residents to apply.
The grant comes here to the Alpena County Home Improvement Program. We have an application process, and we have a phone screening that begins the process to make sure that they do live in Alpena County, their insurance and taxes are paid up, that they do qualify as far as an emergency need plus income guidelines.
For more information or how to contact the Home Improvement Office, you can find this story at WBKB11.com.
Are Michigan drivers choosing other forms of insurance under auto no-fault reform really benefiting? According to the Insurance Alliance of Michigan, 17% of drivers choose other levels of coverage. 70% continue to carry unlimited lifetime medical benefits. Lappin account executive Quentin Meek says the benefit of opting out saves you money, but is it really worth it? Meek explains what happens when going from unlimited coverage to other coverage levels.
You get in an accident, it's a catastrophic injury, now maybe you're a paraplegic. You've exhausted $500,000 immediately. you're now paying for the rest out of pocket or trying to.
Meek says having unlimited coverage eliminates financial strain. He also explains the additional benefit.
The unlimited or the no fault is different in the fact that it is unlimited. I mean, it is an unlimited pool of insurance that you'd be drawing from for coverage in the event of a catastrophic incident.
Until last year, drivers were forced to purchase unlimited lifetime medical benefits. Michigan auto insurance climbed to the highest in the country as a result. This summer, drivers with unlimited coverage will pay $86. That's down from $220 in 2019. And drivers choosing other forms of coverage will pay nothing.
There's more news ahead for you here on WBKB. Coming up, the Oscoda Rotary Club's newest fundraiser is out of this world. And meteorologist Ellie Morrison has your 7-day forecast next.
Partly cloudy with highs near 76 degrees. And then next Monday, a chance of showers with high temperatures around the upper 70s. So we have a bit of a flip in the pattern compared to earlier in the month when we had a few days there in the 90s. No 90s in this forecast. And you might need a jacket heading out the door Wednesday morning.
Yeah, just to be clear, that's not really my forte. I like mid-70s, sunny, you know, where it's nice out during the day, but it's also comfortable to sleep at night.
It'll be certainly comfortable to sleep with those cooler temperatures ahead during those morning hours. And today's photo was sent in by Eugene Cambry. He tells us the captain and crew head back to the Appledore 4 schooner in the background as they prepare to sail to St. Ignace through the fiery breath of a dying summer storm. There, they invite children aboard and conduct lessons in art and maritime lore. It's part of the Tall Ship gathering in Bay City as well. Hope you enjoy. Eugene Cambry, thank you for sharing this photo with us. If you have a photo such as nature shots, pics with friends, or interesting sights you see that you'd like to send us, email it along with a short description to news@wbkb11.com.
Those clouds look awesome. What are they, cumulonimbus, something like that?
It looks like some cumulus clouds in there.
Yeah.
Coming up on WBKB News, fatal crashes in Michigan have increased since the pandemic, and Jake Vanderbrook will have the latest in sports. Stay tuned.
The Oscoda Rotary Club is preparing for their liftoff with their new fundraiser. With COVID-19 putting traditional fundraising methods on pause, the Oscoda Rotary Club is trying something new. On July 5th, the club will launch a 30-inch rocket into the air from the OHS soccer field. People pay a $10 fee online to place their guess, that is, for how high the rocket will fly. Whoever guesses closest to the actual height wins $500 and the rocket. Rotarian Richard Ruth, who built the rocket, says this project spurred the club to take a big step forward.
We didn't even have a website. We weren't that electronic. We had a Facebook page that no one maintained. So I got a website set up and was able to create a page where we're able to take credit cards and we're able to basically advertise something.
Proceeds go to youth development and the Oscoda High School robotics team. The second closest guest wins $200 and the third place winner takes home the backup rocket. And we'll have a link to the Rotary on our website.
I built model rockets in physics class in high school.
Where did it go?
It did not go as far as that one, and that's why I'm at this desk and not in a physics lab right now. Michigan drivers are encouraged to use extra caution as a new survey shows fatal crashes are up since the pandemic. The Michigan Office of Highway and Safety Planning says state traffic deaths peaked above 1,000 for the first time in 3 years. The data comes from a study conducted by the Michigan State Police. This survey represents 30% of all traffic fatalities for 2020. Michigan law enforcement will conduct safety campaigns to address impaired driving and seatbelt usage this summer. Sports is coming up next, but first, Jake Vanderbrook is in with a preview. Jake, how was your weekend?
Hey, Tyler, Sherry, Ellie, and to all of you watching, hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Tyler, to answer your question, I had a wonderful weekend. Next in sports, we have a few area golfers that are competing in this year's Michigan Open. We'll let you know how they did in round one. Plus, we have your top plays from regionals in both softball and baseball. Keep it here because the sports is next. Back at it this evening, they'll be in Kansas City to start a 3-game series with the Royals. First pitch, 8:10.
Should be a good matchup.
Should be.
And all this golf is just giving me the bug. All the weather, golf bug is back.
Yeah, I know. I think I got to head out to play this weekend.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll meet you there. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. Jake, you are going to love this.
All right.
You probably won't. I don't know how the Yankees did this weekend, but I think I watched this video about 10 times. Now here's Mr. Philly Fanatic, probably one of my favorite professional mascots in all of sports, and it dressed as what looks like Frank Sinatra imparting to New York, New York by absolutely obliterating this Yankees helmet. He just smashed that thing to pieces right there. And my favorite part's a little bit at the end of the video. We'll have to wait for it, but Giancarlo Stanton's reaction, there it is, he looks happy, doesn't it?
Yeah, you said I was supposed to like it. What?
I told you probably wouldn't.
No, not at all, not at all. The Yankees got swept by the Phillies.
They did? Okay, I didn't keep up with the series.
They're struggling. They're struggling.
It's early.
It is early. Well, we can call it that.
Thank you for watching WBKB News at 6.
And visit WBKB11.com for sports, weather, and news updates anytime, day or night.
And check us out on our Facebook page and Twitter handle at WBKB11.
Join us tonight for WBKB News at 11 with Stephanie Manici. Have a great evening.